Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, my name is Mareta Wulandari. Right now I want to tell you about learning loss during the COVID-19 pandemic and the impact of emergency remote instruction on first grade students writing, a natural experiment, yaitu kerugian belajar di masa pandemi COVID-19 dan dampak instruksi remote darurat terhadap tulisan siswa kelas 1 SD, eksperimen alami. And this about the abstract, the coronavirus, this is 2019 COVID-19 pandemic and the sudden cancellation of in-class instruction for many students around the world presented an unprecedented disruption in children's education. As the COVID-19 pandemic took form, multiple concerns were raised about the potential negative impact on student learning. The current study examined this proposition for children's writing. We compare the quality of writing, handwriting fluency, and attitude toward writing of first grade Norwegian students during the COVID-19 pandemic, which included emergency remote instruction for almost 3 weeks with first grades in the same school a year before the pandemic began. After controlling of variants due to national test scores, school size, proposition of certified teachers, student per special education teacher, school hours per student, student gender and native language, we found that students attending first grade during the pandemic had lower scores for writing quality, handwriting fluency, and attitude toward writing than their first grade peer tested a year early before the COVID-19 pandemic emerged. Implications for policy and instruction as well as future research are presented. Introduction. What is the topic? The topic is the learning loss during the COVID-19 pandemic and the impact of emergency remote instruction on first grade students writing, a natural experience. What are the issues? This study found the COVID-19 pandemic and emergency online learning led to a decline in writing ability, smooth handwriting, and attitude toward writing in first grade students. Major issues include learning loss is significant, especially in students with non-Norwegian mother tongue. The gap in digital access and support from parents is uneven. The quality and duration of learning declined during the closing of the school. High stress in students, teachers, and parents affect the learning process. Early life in vulnerable, long-term impacts can be greater. Lack of readiness for school and teacher to manage online learning. In literature review, what are the theories about? The theories about stress and learning theory, time on task theory, digital research and equity, social interaction and motivation. And this about the method. This study used a natural experimental design involving 2,453 first grade students from 60 schools in Norway, divided into two groups before the pandemic 2019 and during the pandemic 2020. Three instruments were used: letter writing, writing quality, paragraph copying, handwriting fluency, and a questionnaire attitude towards writing. Data were analyzed using multi-level regression and writing assessment with standardized using the Rush model. The study was conducted in May until June with uniform procedure for all students. Results and discussion. What are the results of article? The study compared first grade students in Norway before and during the COVID-19 pandemic. focusing on three areas of writing development. First, writing quality. Second, handwriting fluency. And third, attitude toward writing. Conclusions. What is the conclusion of the research? Learned loss is real and measurable. Foundational writing skills were disturbed. Third, even strong systems are affected. And this about the reference. And what do you think of the research? The topic, in my opinion, the topic of a research is good because the study examines the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and emergency distance learning on the writing skills of first grade primary school students in Norway. The results showed that students who studied during the pandemic had lower writing quality, handwriting fluency, and attitudes towards writing than students before the pandemic. And the language? I think this language is academic, clear, and appropriate for a science journal. The methodological explanations are detailed, but might feel dense to the general reader. And that's enough. Thank you all. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.